home on the weekends.
All right. Good morning. Welcome to Commissioners Court regular session, August 11th. We have a full quorum present. Here you certified meeting was properly posted.
Yes, sir.
So please rise for prayer and pledges. James Ray.
Our Father, we humbly bow before you this morning. We're asking for your presence to be made known this morning through these commissioners and the judge, that you may guide them in the direction that you would have them go for the residents of Walker County. Father, we thank you for their service. We thank you for this court, and we thank you for your leadership. May you guide us and direct us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Hey, receive any citizens input? Anybody got any? All right, we're gonna start off. Ms. Kim Barty and Leslie Woolley from District Clerks.
I wanted to present this to Ms. Barty in front of y'all because it's very important that somebody who has 30 years of service with Walker County get recognized. She has worked for 8 judges and 4 district clerks. So the pillar of the district clerk's office, and I just want to present this plaque to you in appreciations for your invaluable service to our office. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Didn't want to get it scratched.
Yeah.
Or gave it to you. Here, Tom.
Anyone want to care about Bill?
No.
All right.
Fine. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Consent agenda contains 41 items.
Amazing.
We need to pull 6 and 39.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, removing number 6 and number 30.
Second. Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Number 6, approve payments of claims and invoices.
On page 12, I don't know who can answer this, whether Patricia or somebody on the court. Lyle Engineering, we're paying pretty large sums of money to. What have we gotten for that? I mean, have they already engineered some of our?
That's the grants.
That's our grant. So they've already
Started.
performed work.
That's for all 4 of y'all and the storm shelter.
Okay, all right. Anybody else got any questions?
It was 2 different ones, two different
Yes.
grant numbers.
Yep. So y'all 2 grants a piece. Bill's going one and the rest of y'all on another.
They did a lot of work for me on the Sterling Chapel Railway Bridge. That was a $30-something thousand one that was coming to. And then they've been working on the drainage grant in Wood Farm, putting that one in. Oh, know that we started Wood Farm proper. We should have started, but not a whole lot on that. But we'll be getting quite a few invoices from them.
Sounds good. Make a motion.
Credit card section, page 16.
Page what, Fred?
It's in the credit card, 10 of 16. I think it's, I don't know what pages it is on that. Yeah, there was some weird charges on there, and it looks like they were charged at the bottom of page 15 of 16. And they were credited, but we get a credit card stolen, or what was that? Like some kind of circus purchase in Illinois.
Amy may be online and can answer it, but yes, there's been a number of people in the STU and the district attorney's office whose credit cards have been caught.
Okay.
And we don't really know. Visited with the treasurer about it. And that's what these.
It looks like they had all been taken care of. I just wanted to know. Okay.
I got a motion over here.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your hand. Number 39, approve renewal of C 2360-24-003 mowing precinct 3.
But
We got
we gotta not vote on that. I'm present not voting because he does work directly for me, and then Danny's.
President, not.
I got a motion and a second. All, yep.
Yes.
Motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Number 42, presentation on Texas Department of Family and Protective Service, faith-based and community engagement initiatives. Good morning.
Thank you for having. Okay, so I do have a slideshow, but I'm trying to make this as
Okay.
fast as possible. So you guys can continue. My name is Candace Ramos. I am the faith-based and community engagement for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We are a team of specialists and 2 Rainbow Room coordinators. And with that, I am over Harris County, Waller County, Montgomery, and Waller. And so I am here presenting my face so you guys get to know who we are. We are working with the Child Welfare Board here that have just been created. And these are some of the initiatives, and I kind of just want to go over who we are and what happens when community-based care comes. That's when DePelchin takes over the foster care portion. However, we will still be here, faith-based investigations, family-based safety services. We will still be in existence doing the same thing just from the Texas Department perspective. So this is our mission and vision. We build on strengths of families and communities to keep children and vulnerable adults safe so they thrive. Our vision is for safe children and adults. We do have an adult protective service mission, but I'm here for the child protective service side. Strong families and communities and stronger Texas, connecting, caring communities. Thank you. So our job typically is to foster key partnerships, promote community awareness, effectively manage resources, and strengthen volunteer and intern engagement. We process all background checks for our volunteers and interns, but effectively manage resources. Typically, bringing it home to you guys, what we do, we may have a teenager who is aging out of care and they have no family and support. We will get community providers to wrap around this child to help him through his process. This is something that I just recently did, so I'm using it as an example. To be there as family. They go to his games. He's still in high school, but he has absolutely no family to love and support on him. They take him to church. They do everything for him. The goal is for our caseworkers to come to us before they go to the Child Welfare Board, asking for funds, asking for support, so that we can get the community involved to help. Our biggest thing is trying to get churches involved to help these families because people don't want to deal with CPS. They want support. And the best way to do that is to come to us. So we don't work with the families directly, but we work with the cases supporting them. Additionally, we know Leisha Fisher is the regional director of the foster care portion. However, we report directly to state office. We are not under her. We are directly under state office. Everything that we do comes from the community when it comes to donations and us advocating for the children that are in care. And we not only cover just foster care, we cover from investigations all the way through adoption. Okay. This is just some general history of how we came. Abbott has wanted us to support our families, especially specifically in churches. And this has been something for ongoing. Our name has changed through the years, but in general, this is what we do. We also train mandated reporters on what to report to CPS, as well as do these presentations. And we do community events that support our children. This is just some information you guys probably won't care about. So these are some of our faith-based initiatives. Blue Sunday, where we ask churches and the community to pray for our children that are in care. Purple Sunday, that's for adult protective services. And Stand Sunday. One of the biggest things that I initiated is the Stand With Me Summit, where we target the community to get involved somehow. Sometimes people think that all we want to do get money, and that's not the case. We may need your prayers. We may need mentorship. We may need just spending time with family and listening to them. That's it. You know, it doesn't always take money to do what we do. Of course, we appreciate the gifts, we appreciate the donations because we don't have a budget. However, we do everything for our children and we try to get the community involved in knowing what they can do to help out in any aspect. We do have rainbow rooms. Rainbow rooms are the emergency centers. It's usually in a DFPS office unless the Child Welfare Board decides to put it in a different location. But the Child Welfare Board typically manages this. However, we work to get donations. Recently, we just got dried foods for Hurricane Watch donated from Sam Houston State University and hundreds of dollars that have been donated to the Rainbow Room here in Walker County. That is in our Walker County office. And if a child is removed or a family is in need, they can come to this room in order to get supplies and everything that they need. We also have that for the Adult Protective Services, and that's the silver room. So we can move to the next. This is what some of our rainbow rooms look like. Not all of them look as good as this, but again, purely off the donations and what the Child Welfare Board does in each county. So these are some of our highlights on what we do and how we try to connect with the community. We do initiatives, especially April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we're here always trying to get proclamations for that, but this is just a quick list. We're heading into September, back to school as well for August, but in September we have suicide prevention that we're highlighting, and in October domestic violence awareness and fentanyl awareness as it's becoming a major issue in the family sector. That's Child Abuse Prevention Month. I've already kind of covered that. Let's see. We can move past that. I've already touched that we do trainings and presentations for mandated reporters. By the numbers, we've participated in over 1,500 events with over 131,000 attendees. We are trying to get that number high because then we can produce more awareness. We've conducted over 796 presentations, assisted over 19,000 clients and family members, and with donations brought over $2 million to help families in need. We work with the Child Welfare Boards and Adult Protective Service Boards and any other community support that is willing to help our children and families at risk. We can move past this. We can move past this. Here we are. Okay, so statewide volunteer impact. We do process volunteers, run background checks. That includes a FBI check, basic criminal check, and a CPS check before any of our adults attend events with our children. We ask some of the community partners to host events for our children as well. They will go to golfing events, fishing. We just have everybody volunteer and help. We have over 51,000 hours of volunteer help, which is in value over $1 million. And we do a FBCE newsletter, but I do it for our Region 6, that's Harris County and the 12 surrounding counties. I do the FBCE newsletter where we're offering community providers that you will otherwise not know of be presented in that FBCE newsletter so caseworkers can know how it can be helpful for their families. And that is it. Any questions?
No.
No.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Well,
Candace.
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you.
I'm the person that you'll reach out to. I work with Judge Christian, so if you need anything, let us know and we'll be great to work with anybody you have in mind.
Appreciate what y'all
Thank you.
do.
43, discuss and take action on purchase of 4 21-inch Yardman lawnmowers at a cost of $257.99 and 2 Echo backpack blowers at $399 each for the litter control program. Total $1,829.96. And we did find blowers a little cheaper at $360 each.
So you got the money or you looking for money?
I believe we have.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a lot better to buy it then.
Yep.
These are used a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so anybody got
Approval out of your money.
Sucking out of your money.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand.
See how easy it is when you have money?
Motion carries.
I wanted Appreciate it.
Thank you. 44, discuss and take action on award of solicitation C 2360-26-208 in and out county hauling for fiscal year 2026.
Morning.
Morning, Miss Cheryl.
So, we let the solicitation, receive the bids, and as, you can see on your bid tab, we have a tiebreaker that we need, to point and decide who would be primary and alternate.
Somebody bring a corn?
I don't have.
We have no money bags in the court today.
There we go. Give it up to number one.
Give it to me.
Yeah, trying to give you, Brad. Tiebreakers on which one?
It's the bobtail, I'm sorry, it's the 51 miles to 60 miles. And it's the bobtail only. Both vendors bid 29.31 for that service.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna do the first column, Mr. Walker, is heads,
I see it now.
Okay, sorry.
and Rockin' G will be tails.
Say that again, please.
Heads is Ellis Walker and tails is Rockin' G. Heads.
I'll verify that for you. Take your quarterback.
So,
It's a good government.
Move to approve.
Move and second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries.
Make sure. Solve that problem. Sure.
45, receive an update on ongoing opioid litigation matters from Mike Park Law Firm. Mr. Parks?
We'll need to be in executive session, Your Honor. I don't know if you want to do it now or.
Okay. Go in executive session under 551.071 at 9:17. All right, we're back at 9:26. We received the update from Mr. Parks. We'll move on to 46. Discuss take action on approval for Park Law Firm to participate in the Purdue Direct Settlement Program on behalf of Walker County. That'll be my motion.
Need to put in there, giving you the authority to
And signed
sign
by
all the
myself.
paperwork. Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carried. 47, discuss and receive information on certified values, final calculation, and notice of no new revenue tax rate and voter approval tax rate.
If you have before you, packet labeled tax packet, we received the certified values from the appraisal district on, July. The effective tax or the no new revenue tax rate has been calculated and the forms filled out. So if you look at, page 3 of the packet, this is the required notice that would go into the proposed budget. The calculated no new revenue rate is 0.4371. And then the debt rate was calculated at 0.0184. And the voter approval rate, which is the maximum rate the county could adopt without triggering an automatic election, is 48.87, so 0.4887 per $100 of assessed valuation. Now, I'll answer any questions you have, or Stacy may be on the site, I'm not sure.
I did not see her.
Question?
And if you go back to page 21 in the tax packet, this is a copy of the notice about the 2025 tax rates that is required to be published in the newspaper and placed on the website. A sample notice of public hearing on the tax rate based on the 2 cents over the effective goes on page 23. Starting on page 25 is the actual tax rate calculation worksheet itself. And of course, after court further discusses the budget, should the tax rate that is being proposed change, then the 2 forms I just showed you, other than the calculation itself, would be modified.
So we'd be at 0.4571 if we don't make any changes.
Yes, that's what's been discussed throughout the budget.
Okay.
I've had this since 9 o'clock, but how much new growth do we have? What page is that on?
About 200 and something.
Yeah.
That's like it.
Your front page.
The new value is on page
Page 10.
Probably was 7 point.
it's on page 19 of the total new market value and the total new revenue taxable value. The total new revenue taxable value is $170,033,821. This figure is less than the new growth last year. It is more than what our original estimate we had received from the appraisal district. months. So 170 million this year as compared to 180 this year. This page shows the main numbers that, or some of the main numbers that affect the tax rate, the growth in the exemptions, the growth in the value, and the numbers. It also shows the average residential values, also published in the notice.
You said last year was 182 million.
Alrighty.
Okay,
Moving on.
it is what it is.
See if it changes, huh?
Y'all wanna go in the workshop now, or y'all wanna hold the next 5 items and do all that after the rest of it?
We could do the, yes, I think maybe did 47, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so we haven't on it yet. Yes, workshop.
We're just receiving the information.
Maybe help.
Well, that's what I'm talking, we can go to work. 47, so discuss and receive, yeah.
Go skip those and go.
Get suspend, or go, drop down to 53. And let's get the rest of court, and then we'll go in the workshop.
Is that all right? Yeah, Patricia.
Of course.
Okay. We're gonna skip down to 53 then. 53, discuss and take action on agreement with the city of Riverside for pothole repairs.
This is something we do pretty with them. They stack up quite a few, send me requests. So this is an agreement for us to be able to do some work inside the city limits and inside. So make a motion to approve agenda item number 52.
All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 54, discuss and take action on approving a temporary working easement drainage project on Wood Farm Road.
We've sent a letter to these property owners. We have not heard back. And this is for a culvert crossing on Wood Farm, close to Cedar Hill. Pretty tight access to it. So we're looking for be able to get access on the east side from them. So when you get back in them, but I'd like to have ours approved ahead of that. So I've motioned to approve agenda item 54 as presented.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. 55, discuss and take action on road service agreement between U.S. Forest Service and Walker County for asphalt resurface of Stovefield Lake Road.
Okay, this one's my baby. This is the money that we're gonna get from the federal government, from the USDA. To redo the portion of Stubblefield between the bridge and 1375. My motion is gonna be to approve this with giving the judge the ability to sign all contracts as needed.
Second that.
Brandon, one question. That's Walker County's all the way out to 1375.
No,
Yeah.
down there later on, we're local with Montgomery County. So we've got more, we got about 2 miles, we're taking. We're gonna do the project all in one fell swoop because it's with USDA money.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take lead on it and just be the coordinator of everything, but that's what the interlocal down here a little further is to give us their ability.
Well, and that's the reason I asked. Somewhere in this, it said something about Montgomery County wasn't liable and all this stuff. So I assume they're not involved in all.
Well, they approved the agreement. They did like we did, put the road on their Schedule A, so it puts it under their deal.
Yeah.
Quentin can weigh into this about the liability.
Sure, as the Commissioner is explaining, federal government wants one office to handle it.
Yeah.
And handle it, he'll do the miles that are in our county and in Montgomery County. Part of the work that he's doing in Montgomery County is under an interlocal agreement with Montgomery County, so that's why he's not able to go do that. Their attorney drafted the document you're looking at, and it is of course designed to protect them all the way out.
Even though it's their road.
Even though it's their road. So that's what it's for. I don't have it because I believe that the terms are not unfair. But they did draft it a whole lot like that, but I think even arguing with the federal government, it's commissioner's gonna follow all our local rules here. So we'll be okay.
Okay. Only, I
Got a motion.
think you got a second, I don't remember.
I don't even remember. You get a second,
I think
yeah?
I seconded it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bill second.
All right, moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 56, discuss take action to approve engineering on Summerfield Lake Road.
We've got the backups there. A motion gonna be file as our in-house or our contract engineer to get started on this. Move to approve.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 57, discuss and take action on interlocal between Montgomery County and Walker.
This is the interlocal we talked about, so my motion is gonna be to approve.
Second.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 58, discuss and take action on paving Ernst parking lot for a total of 36,630, with the city of Huntsville and the county each paying 18,315.
Who's doing
I
that?
don't have much on any of this. The county or the city just wanted to know if we were interested in it, so they sent this price over. I just need to know if y'all are interested in it. I talked to the judges. They didn't care. They said that our people can park in the annex if they want to.
This is the parking lot right down
This is the
here.
one down here
Down here.
across from the new city hall.
Pay every month to rent, but we gotta repave it too, to rent it.
We don't have to repave it. They're just asking. So we
I
can
mean-
say no.
I'm not in, I don't, we're paying rent, we're gonna get a product. Without having to,
Yeah, we're paying pretty cheap rent. but
Paying real cheap rent.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to look at it to see if it needs to be paid in before we do it. So, I mean, I hadn't looked at it.
I wouldn't mind doing that, but I would, and maybe that's the message we send is, I don't want to say a no to it. I mean, we're trying to spiff up, spruce up,
Yeah.
make it look good down here and get a whole parking lot done for 20 grand or so. I don't have any issues with it. I really don't.
Well, and the
Yeah,
reason we done it was because of all the, you know, I mean,
Parking around the courthouse.
yeah, we want everybody to come to the courthouse, but yet we don't want to give them a place to park, so. You know, especially during the jury trials
Yeah.
and all that, so.
And if y'all want to spend 2 weeks and go look at it and we can get real numbers and an actual quote instead of a email with this is all I got.
Yeah, cause I don't, I mean, I'd
So-
like curious to see if they're gonna let
Yeah.
their contractor do it, or if they're doing it in-house.
I
or
thought their
what.
contractor was
Yeah,
done.
they won't do it in-house.
It was whoever was doing the
So,
streets.
You know,
I can push it to 2 weeks.
Yeah, push it 2 weeks, let us drive by and look at it.
Yeah. We're gonna pass on 58. 59, discuss and take action on Seth request for signatures for approval for resolution approving assessment of private activity bond authority to Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. That'll be my motion.
Second that.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 60, discuss and take action on purchase of a Christmas tree for the courthouse. So when we quoted the other day, that was for a 4-foot portion of it. They thought we had a 14-foot tree already. So purchasing went around and got a bunch of other quotes. We just brought it back. We have the leftover money from Larry that we need to cover the rest of the costs. We just wanted to update y'all that we're gonna spend the 10,000 plus a little bit more to get us a 18-foot Christmas tree. We got our 3 quotes, but it's more than what we thought. We're just coming back to court to update y'all and tell us we don't need no more money, but we wanted to update y'all, see if y'all are still good with spending the more money.
Sounds good.
figure out where we're gonna put it, Larry.
We're gonna clean out Butch's warehouse.
What you gonna store this?
Yep.
No problem. I'll make a motion to approve.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 61, discuss and take action on the order a special election to be held November 4th, 2025.
Just need to approve it, right?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve agenda item 61.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 62, discuss and take action on notice of special election to be held November 4th, 2025.
move for approval.
Second.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Planning Development, 63, public hearing concerning plat number 2025-018, replat of lots 47-48 of lot 4 of the Deer Forest subdivision. Time is 9:41. Anyone here to speak upon that? All right, where's yours, Andy? I did, at 9:41.
App.
Plat Deer Forest has to come before the Commissioners Court. As it's a replat of an existing platted subdivision, got no objections to combine lots, or do lot, we call Form 7A.
Did I give you a letter about the right of way on this one on file?
About the width of the right of way. Your issue,
No, I'm asking, some of them, you always ask me, I've just got a letter saying if we don't need any, right away, that already have the right of way or?
right, this one has a 60-foot right of way, it doesn't have the 7.
Anybody else talk on it? We'll close public hearing at 9:42. Number 64, discuss and take action on plat number 2025-018, replat of lots 47, 48, block 4 of the Deer Forest subdivision.
Move for approval.
I'll second that.
Second, all in favor, raise your hand. 5, discuss and take action on plat number 2023-008, Woodhaven subdivision, Daniel J. Tover survey. Mike, you got anything on it?
Unique comments. Objections on it, is it?
The only, there's some vegetation that they're still establishing, that is ongoing, but aside from that. County inspector.
You good, Mike?
Went the bond last time. I've been good for a year and a half, so.
It's been a while.
There, I think, finally.
Motion to approve item 65 as presented with the, and you see that was.
What?
Vegetation stuff.
Be contingent on that. We'll have to wait till they.
Oh, yeah, just approve.
Move for approval of 65 as presented.
Vegetation may never get established.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 66, discuss and take action on plans for roads and drainage of New Waverly Place, section 3, plat number 2020-038.
We have a few items on here.
Yeah, they're all.
Plan. We got no remaining objections. Plan at this point. We're at no objection. I think Stephanie's online. Stephanie, are you here?
Yes.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
In the letter at the bottom of this.
And if you want to read it.
No, I'm just gonna.
There was some concern there.
About hearing her, so I'm.
Can you hear me?
The letter, there were several things that need to be corrected during the last review. Most of those have been corrected. If you look at July 31st, this letter, items 1 through 6, 1 through 5 already been corrected. There's a couple of remaining items on plat, dates, on the plat from the engineering surveyor, but we have a plat. The plat that we have is only updates. I think developers here
Or something.
well, we corrected all. They've corrected all those. So all we're down to is these dates being corrected on the seals. I think they're ready and willing to correct that on the original plats before we file them. So that's the only thing that's related to plat though, not necessarily plans. There's two notes that they put, with approval of the plans. One is that there's some lot to lot drainage, note number one, in the bottom there's lot to lot drainage. These are just noted to court as things that they had concerns about, but we're not turning them down over it.
That first one was the impervious coverage in the section 1, correct?
The second one's impervious cover. The first one has
Worked
to
out
do.
with the HOA or POA.
Right. So we've expressed that concern. They feel like if they're comfortable proceeding, they can control for that. And so we're not objecting to it. We just wanted to make a record saying that was a concern. The second one, the first one is that they're using lots of lot drainage over several of the lots. Whereas the current topography shows some channelized drainage between those lots, but it's gonna have to be something to watch closely in the construction process. Then going back up, after number 7, number 8, number 9, prior to obtaining, these are existing notes that we've already have on the subdivision, but we want to reiterate these prior to obtaining waiver of place section 3 certification of substantial completion. That's after the construction statement place. That they get Waverly Place section 1 will have to be fully constructed and approved by the county. That's a condition that was put in place early on in this project. Number 9, obtain Waverly Place section 1 certification of substantial completion of Commissioner's Court prior to obtaining Waverly Place section 3 certificate. That is it. So other than that, so the existing continued conditions would be 8 and 9. Yeah, when we get to the plat, right now, the plans, we would make those condition upon those signature blocks being updated. The engineering survey. I think we're on plans now.
Vance, what was the guy's name that me and you met over there? I don't remember the road. The ditch that goes in between that drainage easement. You addressed that yet?
I was just kind of getting past this, but I've been in contact with him since we met. We talk about it every 2 weeks.
Okay.
I've got his number saved. Cool.
I was looking for his name. So get it out of my head right now. Move for approval with what we've got on this letter dated November 12th. What did you say?
That's July 31st.
July 31st, 2025.
Being completed? With what's on the letter being completed?
Yes, there was a couple of deals on there that had
Subject to conditions and comments.
From Blau.
We cover it. 2 of the items on just comments.
a motion.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 67, discuss and take action on bond number 108091525 for Waverly Place Section 3, plat number 2020-038.
We have the bond here. It matches the amount that's in the engineer's estimate. We're approving the bond. It will be subject to the final signature by the president. They're here today, and we got the original vote, so they can sign it.
And everything's right, bonds issued and right, correct.
We got the bond reviewed. You know, form has been reviewed. Just one blank for the owner that needs to be filled out, and then the date. They have a date blank that says executed. And obviously today's date.
Move for approval.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries.
Andy, and that's, you can hear Stephanie talking, but apparently we can't hear her. So I don't know, something on Zoom. Is Stephanie on there, Ally?
She's on. I see her.
Yeah, I'm here. I believe online can hear me, but can you hear me in court?
I heard a crackle earlier.
Can you hear me? This is Dan. Can you hear me?
All right, number 68, discuss and take action on section 3 final plat number 2020-038.
So the request would be conditioned upon the update of the dates on the final plats by the RPLS entity.
Move for approval with the breaking down from final plat.
I'll second that.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 69, discuss and take action on the Aspen Utility LLC Comcast request for variance from utility installation request, engineering requirement, 5-1 installation regarding location of existing utilities, drawing showing profile views and overlays. I hear them.
Let's see.
Y'all can state your name for Miss French.
Jessica Cooper.
I'm calling.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning,
Morning.
Commissioners. How are you? Just here to introduce myself. I sent you all an email last week kind of announcing what we were going to be doing. Appreciate those of you that had a chance to respond. And then if not, obviously love to talk. Our very request is just because of the 2-inch conduit within the county's right of way. So it's significantly smaller than a major scale utility project, and we're just requesting variance to exclude us from having to provide a full land throughout the entire project. Members of the Aspen team, government affairs, we got Ernest Spicer, Christopher Beasley, as well if there are any additional questions related to construction. But we appreciate your support of
How
this.
are y'all gonna not hit our water lines?
So, Judge, Commissioners, we normally will follow typical utility practices. So part of that is going out there, identify any type of utilities out there, pothole those, get depths on them. And if certain situations, we'll go out there and actually hydrovac. So that's typically what we do across most of the areas we do the type of work we do. So that's normal practice. Is basically follow the Texas 811.
So from our point of view, I don't know about the rest of them, but you're in contact with our water company then?
That is correct, yes.
I know y'all hit a lot of them in home. And so it's,
So we're
got
not
me a
here,
little
we're
bit-
not hearing that y'all are in contact with the water company. Y'all are overloading the water companies and not giving them enough notice before you start putting in the lines. You may give them the 24 hours that's required, but you're giving them all these spaces and we're still small.
Right.
Y'all are overloading them according to your regulations and you don't give them enough time to do that. You give them the required amount of time you have to, but when you give them half the county, it doesn't work. Right now, I'm not for giving you anything until we slow down and figure out how not to hit water lines and make people have water bowl notices.
Okay. Are you referring to Huntsville?
Nope.
Okay.
The ones
The
in the
only-
county,
Okay.
especially
I'm aware
utility
of county boil water notice.
they've had them. And y'all were tearing up water lines right and left there for a couple of weeks. I know the ones in Elkins isn't y'all, that's another person, but they're hitting water lines out there too. We're getting calls from other subdivisions going across dams and they're having problems.
Right. We are aware of Spring Lake is the dam.
Is that y'all?
Yes.
Yep, they've been blowing our phone up about that one.
Correct. And we're happy. We're already working with City of Huntsville on that. In addition to the TCEQ, we've stopped all work on that and are working in coordination with TCEQ to verify any damages that were done and to resolve them. That project is currently in redesign with Aspen to avoid the dam altogether. So we've been able to stop any additional work. So any additional work in the last 2 weeks that you've heard has not been related to our project in that area.
And when y'all do the locates, are the water lines actually where they say they are?
That's part of the problem. A lot of the hits is that they're not being located accurately. So when we do have a hit, they're off by not just a few inches, but by multiple feet.
Yeah, I mean, I've dealt with that with the city of Huntsville as well. I'm kind of,
Yeah, which is why.
yeah, I mean, it's,
Possibly.
we run into that when we set culverts because sometimes they'll say the water line's here and it's not. So.
Right.
But you still have responsibilities.
100%.
Try not to go.
Yeah, of course. At any time that you get a phone call, we don't expect you to be our customer service. If you get any calls, that's what I'm here for and what Ernie is here for. pick up the phone, send me a text, give me a phone call, voicemail, email, and we'll happy to respond to any issues that you all have.
If I can add on there, one of the things that we have been doing, and, you know, commissioners, we have, myself, and Christopher, we've reached out, is trying to create that communication so that we're actually there, you know, that district. We have relationships and actually trying to talk with them because sometimes they know where the water lines are. And a lot of times when we're going out there, we can actually see it versus where we're doing the work. So that we can kind of help mitigate some of that as it comes up. So we're trying to utilize as many different opportunities we have out there to try to mitigate any potential strikes that may have.
Okay. And following this meeting, I'm happy to bring Ernie and his team out to meet with y'all individually so we can go through any specific concerns that you'd like to bring up.
I have noticed that the junction boxes are setting pretty good. I don't think y'all done anything on our county roads, but in the state right of way, they're set out, and even inside the city, they're set out inside the right of way pretty good bit, which is a big concern to me because we're going to hit your stuff. And if y'all aren't taking care of it inside the right of way, I'll be real honest with you, I'm not paying for it. Or y'all do anything on our roads that I'm assuming you. We would like to visit with you, or I would anyhow.
I think that's what.
We put out in the right away, I want flush mount. Like Danny's talking about, you know, that's out there and that Johnson grass as tall as his roof, we're gonna mow it over. And I'm like him, you know, unless years ago, whenever there was a pedestal or anything out there, they were sprayed around where you could visually see them. Maintenance has gone out the window on other people. I'm not gonna say that y'all are not gonna do it, but flush mounts the way I'm gonna request in precinct 4 across the board. You know.
Sorry, real quick, I believe the whole project is gonna, just as a heads up.
Yes.
Okay, whole project, the whole project's flush now.
Project for Walker County.
For fiber, so it will be underground.
So what are they asking for this time?
They just don't want to provide a set of shop drawings,
Yeah.
a set of plans, right? Not
And Stephanie's back on, but essentially the request is they can. There's 3. One showing existing utilities and will work. In other words, physically those prior to the design, showing those in the design, which is very complex process. And then providing drawings showing profile views, which is what we normally require for utilities in our right of way. We deal with all types of utilities. So we have everything from massive gas pipelines to fiber lines to phone lines. So they're requesting a waiver on showing profile views of all the work to be performed in the county right of way that include elevations. So that's again pretty detailed field work. We need to support that for the expansion of the project. And then number 3, confirm the rights of way widths and obtain approvals from all applicants for installation. I think you have this response from Lyle.
Yes.
Hello, number 4. Always feel free.
Yeah.
And Stephanie is now available and online. We'll talk to her, but essentially they have recommendations on 1 and 2 and 3. If you look at that and pass that down. Thought that was
It's in the backup.
That's not it.
Oh, I got rid back. That's right behind.
Separate email.
Oh.
I'm good with that. That's fine.
So Stephanie, you there?
Yes, sir, I'm
Talk
here.
about your Can you talk about your no objection or conditions on the no objection?
Yes, sir. And these essentially align with what they offered in their letter. And so because this is a small 2-inch conduit that they'll be installing, it's as you said earlier, it's different than like a large diameter, high pressure natural gas line, to where they can better field locate the existing improvements versus trying to locate it now prior to construction. And so during that construction, we would require that they contact 811 to do those locates, excavate like hydrovac or, pothole where the existing utilities are located to find the existing utilities. And then after the fact, provide an as-built drawing of where their facilities are actually installed. They also have a second or a third variance that they've requested, which is regarding confirming the location of the right of way. We don't recommend approving that variance. Blyle can offer a condition on the no objection, just stating that it is the responsibility of the utility provider to ensure they are installing where they legally have right to install. But I don't think you should waive that requirement to have that utility company assume that responsibility.
So to be clear, the plan could either have to call out on every on every right of way, how they know that it's there, referencing how they know it's there. Or it could have a general note that says that all of our lines are going to be installed within a right of way that we verify. But we're not going to waive their requirement to verify that they're working in the right of way. We said from the beginning of the project, and it's not typical for us to verify right of way locations for utilities like installers. And so it's their responsibility, their legal team and their research staff's responsibility to ensure that where they put the line in, they have a legal right to do so, either in our right of way or obtain private easements from 20 owners.
That's a tricky one for me because we don't know where our right of ways are.
That's exactly right. I was gonna say the same thing. We don't even know where our right
Well,
of ways are.
and that's the reason they're doing it is to take us out of the loop on it. I mean, it's their job to.
Yeah, I mean, so that's why I'd like to see the wording would be like the installer accepts our responsibility for placing the utility in the right of way. I mean, it should be a sentence that easy for me. I don't
Because
think.
of the prescriptive easement.
Yeah, because we can't ask them to provide a document on 90% of our roads. Just say, oh yeah, we researched and found this property line.
Well, that's what Stephanie
Am I
was
right?
saying.
That's what we're asking them to do.
She's saying that we would be okay with, we wouldn't object to that part as long as they put a general note that specified that it was their responsibility to locate all the improvements within either a public right of way or obtain a private right. And it would be their responsibility to research that, which is pretty typical, to be honest, with most of the private utilities go out and locate right of ways for anybody that I know.
As long as it turns out, I mean, they're going to do like on, I got a guy on Wood Farm Road right now. He's staying in, outside the fences between us and the road, between the fence and the road. And he's going through there. So he's assuming that he's in the right of way, but if he goes down, let's say he goes down a particular road that's maybe precinct 4 with the right of ways on the other side. I got to keep you in the conversation. Where the right of ways on the other side of the road, and he goes through there. Now, how's he gonna?
Well, they're operating on state statute as a public utility to use the public right of way, but doesn't necessarily mean it's our responsibility to tell them where it's at. And so again, I think that's what Stephanie's comment. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Let me see that.
They did a general note covering the entire plan application, that they will be responsible for locating all improvements either within the public right of way or obtain private right of ways when necessary.
We've been pretty consistent on this with the other people we've dealt with, right? And if I remember right.
So the amount of research they do is just up to them. They're just kind of proceeding at their own risk based on the assumptive right of way, and we're not.
Yeah, the only alternative would be to have them identify the location of the public right away and us review it. Yeah.
But then you're throwing us in the mix in as to where they putting it.
I don't think,
yeah.
I will just say that.
No, they have to, I mean, they have to assume responsibility for the right of way. If that's the whole sentence to me is that, but I don't, yeah, if it's just they're assuming responsibility for confirming the right of way widths, I'm okay with that. I just don't think they don't need to bring me a survey of the whole thing.
Right, that's the question.
Yeah.
So I think, Stephanie, we're comfortable with them not bringing us a title list of all the right of ways, just as long as they include a note that says the project.
Correct. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, Y'all good with it?
Yep. May have to be.
Approved,
That's why.
contingent upon the letter from Lyle, in August of 5th. Those two very notes on that letter. So just so we're all on the same,
I'll second that.
just so we're all on the same page, this is a variance to the process. This is not final approval of the permits. It will be back before you guys at a future session for final approval of the permits. And I know you guys had several other questions for them, maybe between now and then.
So can we get this conversation? It might help everybody up here. I don't want to, like I pulled up on a project on a fiber company right now on an existing road, and they had gone to a culvert it's 3 feet below the road, but they went over the top of it. And it just so happens that we happen to stop, and that's the one we're getting ready to tear out next week, as a matter of fact. So I don't know, or if part of our variance thing is that any fiber crossings at culvert crossings need to be 2 feet below the flow line of the existing culvert. That way there's
Yeah, need to be.
no question.
That is standard for us. We do a 2-foot minimum from.
Below the flow line of the existing creek. Okay, because these folks didn't. I just happened to drive up on.
And if there's like a concrete culvert out there, we are gonna be 2 feet, at least 2 feet under it.
Okay.
We have to cross it.
Okay. All right.
And we have those notes on our plans.
It's on your plans? Okay.
I saw that somewhere.
I'm gonna remember that at least 2 foot.
There you go, bro.
I'll remember you.
All right.
Yes.
Any other discussion? I got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 70, discuss take action on Marshall Mims request for variance to section 3.1, 3.11, and 3.25 of the Walker County subdivision regulations regarding plating requirements for property 4.64 acres.
Okay. The request before court to waive the lighting requirement. He purchased a portion of a larger parent tract that was divided back in 2004. He recently purchased. He has these 2 pieces, 1 acre.
Can you center that a little bit more? There you go. Thanks.
He has 2 portions of property. This one that's got by staff out to the road, and then this inset piece here makes up about 1 acre. They came in for permitting. We did a compliance review on the land. Across this issue. So the variance request is requesting waiver of plat requirement altogether to be able to continue forward with these sort of non-compliant conformers. Our compliance review of land policy. Right now, they're not violation of subdivision regulation. The grandfather date for the court's memory is 2000. It's not an applied subdivision, it's 2000. Yeah, so they missed it by about 4 years. We got this over there. We did the same style thing over on Jones Road. Mike's, this is the second or third time it's been bought and sold. It wasn't done right way back when, so it's gonna be trying to track down landowners, get signatures and yeah, to try to do a plat and all that. My recommendation was giving the variance, live by meets and bounds, and or that'll be my motion.
I'll second that.
What, somewhere in there it said something about building across lot lines, right?
That is across the lot lines of a little piece and a big piece. This drawing's not, this is, it didn't come in very good. It's between the two the 2 properties he bought.
He putting it together.
You got a better,
You putting it in as one track now,
Yeah.
so there won't be no lot lines.
we don't have a regulation.
I was fixing to say there ain't no way.
Construction across a lot line as long as the onset wastewater system or the building served by it don't cross the line. That's where it gets tied in. County's regulations don't prohibit construction across the lot line.
it's whenever there's an on-site wastewater system involved, the state's regulations don't allow on-site wastewater across lot lines.
Well, I guess the only perk to it is if they do build across it, won't be able to sell it again. Different tracks.
Yep.
All right,
So, okay, I'm all right.
I'm here.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. 71, discuss and take action on modification of requirements for variance previously granted to J and H Navasota Development on 6/3/2024 regarding points of access and section A 1.1 regarding plat requirements for 32.8305 acre parcels on FM 1375 new owner of 12.800 acre portion of the tract is seeking modifications to requirements given to prior owner in order to move forward with their development.
So the initial variance for subdivision of the tract. They're rolling attached.
Overall.
I don't think so.
Down.
This it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit farther. Okay. So you can kind of see it line right here. There's track out this way, this track here. Those were divided and sold by Mr. Hassel. It came before court to request a variance to the dividing requirements at the time that they were sold. So the sale could take place. Conditions were placed at the time of that variance being granted to the subdivision regulations. Those conditions included the dollar tract being platted before any new construction occurs on the tract, and before construction occurs on either dollar tract, that each has a valid text dot or an access drive. The tract is subdivided to allow future access points to implement requirements in Walker County subdivision regulations. So Stephanie was here, and these came from Stephanie, these recommendations. This applicant has purchased, it's trying to proceed with permitting, but because of the conditions here not being met, we have them on a compliance on subdivision regulations. Then before court to ask for waivers on, so they're here.
Yeah, I think everybody's here.
The whole gang's here.
I was gonna say Jared McCrory's Group One Engineering. We submitted these plans for Top Star Construction back in March or April, Andy. I don't remember exactly. And Jeremy's here with Top Star, and they weren't made aware of the variances when they bought the property and what had to be done. So after we submitted to Andy, he brought them to our attention. Long story short, when the way I see it, when the variances were granted, it was a parent tract, it's 30 acres. Now there's two people trying to adhere to the same variance. And I've got, Jeremy's here, and then the other owners are here as well. And I've talked to both, and nobody has an issue following what variances were. Problem is, Top Star's ready to build their office and can't move forward because the other property owner hasn't made it far enough in planning to submit to TxDOT and get the variances or have a plat ready to go. So, long story short, if there's a way we can separate it so that each of them can adhere to the variance requirements independently, plat the 12.8 acres as one reserve with its own TxDOT, and then they can plat their remainder when they, decide their final use for it and get their TxDOT permit, then I think we can satisfy all of the variances moving forward if we can, just do them individually instead of jointly. I think the other thing that we would be asking would be to allow the review and permit process to move forward while we're platting the property. And we already have the TxDOT permit for the Top Star piece from TxDOT with a shared access for the water plant. Delmy issued that June 30th, so it's still valid. It's recent. We hadn't started the platting process because we don't control both pieces to get that plat moving yet, but I've already got the groundwork laid to get that moving if that's the only thing that we have that's outstanding.
So the two adjoining landowners here, Mr. Williams is here and Mr. Bridges and Ms. Cox are all here. I'd like to at least hear from you guys just to get y'all's take on it.
Whatever really benefits Top Star, they're the one build their building, and I mean, we're gonna put our second entrance into Waverly Place. In the near future, we're working on design of it, but for a
And
whole,
Joe, you've been in contact with TxDOT on that.
Yes, sir. I've got a meeting this afternoon at 3 o'clock with the area office engineer to go over all of these things and to solidify exactly what the plan forward is. When I spoke with her last week and I communicated with you, the results of that conversation was that TxDOT is willing to move forward with the single-family residential subdivision with commercial drive off of that as we had planned before. She wants to work out and be very certain as to exactly where the access is coming from. That's really the only thing that will work out is Topstar temporarily going to come through CNR with a long-term plan of coming off of the extension of Temple coming out of Waverly Place, or is there going to be a dual? We need to work that out because TxDOT's path forward for permitting our driveway is going to be contingent on what those answers. And I'll have those answers this afternoon.
I don't have those answers. So right now, as you can see, Topstar's plan is to come in and share that. Entrance and access that was granted to the water well company. You can also see that the plan is pretty contingent on between them and the property.
And that shared access that we originally talked about
would come right through the middle of that tension pond.
Well, and the TxDOT permit that was issued for the water well company is the same one that was reissued as a shared access. And there's an access easement recorded across it to, give both parties access. In addition to that, there is still the 60-foot access easement that runs to the west across the creek to what would be the future Waverly Place second access.
But the shared access with the water company still, is that permanent or is that a temporary?
That's a permanent.
That's what y'all gonna use completely, no thing.
We bought the 20 acre in order to satisfy the commitment board to have a second access to Waverly Place. So as long as we don't lose our driveway for the residential use, we'll have 15 to 16 or so lots in that section too. And obviously you wanted to have us access in 1375 and not just extend the street and go back around. So,
And it does beat separation distances per TxDOT between this one and where, anywhere on y'all's frontage that would be, so.
Still don't mean they're gonna give you a permit.
yeah.
That's what I'm.
Right, it is still TxDOT, so.
So initially, court's concerns, the reason that these in here is sale needed to take place for reasons expressed to the court back at that time. So the court allowed the sale to take place with the idea of holding everything together for the planning and access permitting requirements till it was all done. Obviously the court recognized the fact that there would be owners because they were coming to court to ask to sell the property. So one TxDOT permit has been granted. You heard them say they're willing to do a single lot plat on theirs if to meet the requirements. The original idea behind the conditions was that the two projects would be held together so they both had access points. You heard them, they believe that both will eventually be granted, but I've got a way to assure the court that.
Both of them are commercial.
no, ours is residential.
Residential. Subdivision, another one's commercial. Yeah, we were supposed to, this did exactly what it was going to do. We got everybody in the room together. That's why it was there. Andy, is there a way that we can, I want to get them all, make sure they're all protected, but if any way that we can, grant this to Joe Mendiola?
No, Jeremy, I'm Jeremy.
You're Jeremy. Is there any way we can grant this to Topstar with a condition that they will only be able to use the shared access that they have in place now? Basically, they can't have, they will not, I mean, it's not, I don't see how it's tied to us, but that would be their only point of access on 21375, or is that getting off into something we don't need to be off in?
Well,
Sound like we're getting into something.
so
Gotta ask.
So there's 5 conditions. Subdivision has the tracks are over 10. If that condition's been met, minimum 125 frontage, leave that condition with that. The water track is platted and form correction occur on that track. Right now, our understanding of that is that both tracks will be platted if the commissioner's court wanted to amend that to say as long as that owner plats, then we can issue a permit on that track or waive that requirement. That's your call. It's your condition. It's horizontal to waive them all together and allow me to issue permits without a plat, just based on their meets and bounds deed that they have now. Number 4, construction occurs on either daughter track, each not have a valid tech stop. Right, again, that the initial requirement was that both of them would have a tech stop permit because there was some concern that if one got granted, the other one wouldn't, or that there was going to be something in the future for those two owners to work together. And the court kind of locked them together, that they would help each other get their permits.
Right, and that's my point I'm trying to make. You got this much road frontage. They're going over outside. Topstar's going over outside. And they've got a permitted access right now. So the original frontage that tied all this together is not going to change, other than Ms. Cox's group has got a small portion, Topstar's got a long portion.
Yeah.
If they don't put a driveway in there, that was originally what we talked about. They basically kind of went outside of their property to use that shared access over on the water property, correct, Jerry?
And then there's no plans for putting another point of access to the building.
If we don't allow them, and that's what I'm asking, can we tell them, all right, you can do this, but no more points of access unless it's with a shared driveway with Waverly Place?
You still don't guarantee that Waverly Place is gonna get permit.
No, it don't. When you're dealing with TxDOT, I mean,
That's what it's still.
But there's no guarantee they're gonna get it now, whether we
Well,
do
that's
anything
true.
or not.
Yeah, this doesn't change because we're tying into an existing, it's already permitted, we just re-permitted use, so it's not changing anything from a tech stop point of view, whether or not the other track would, have access.
Roll the dice and see.
We're fortunate in the fact that, everybody's kind of here and everybody's moving forward. Otherwise, you'd have, just one side here with no ideas about what the other side was doing or who they were.
All right, the hang up,
A question though, when we met with TxDOT last year, they said they weren't gonna allow that shared access. So how did that between CNR and Topstar, how did y'all get that accomplished? Just because, well, I'm only concerned that we don't.
Driveway
our
application.
driveway.
I submitted a change of use
We
application.
want y'all to be successful and it really benefits us for you all to have that driveway with CNR. But if we lose our driveway, then
That's my concern.
yeah, that's what then we've gone through this exercise to buy that extra land, but that we didn't need to.
Yeah,
Brandon, they've only got one access right now, right? Waverly Place.
I remember.
Waverly
got-
Place has one access.
They got to have the second access.
Right, that was one of the conditions we put on them,
Yeah.
yes. And they got the land and they're in the process
But
of,
that's the hang up I'm having is they got to have, per our regulations and the traffic study, they got
Yes.
to have the second entrance. And I don't know, they need to be guaranteed the second entrance, not so much for them, for us.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, like you said, nobody in this room can guarantee on that second.
Well, when you
They're
get
able
the
to-
fixed up permit, you can.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, nobody in our room,
Yeah.
in here can, it's all, in the hands of TxDOT.
Well, and that's why I'm having the hang up on doing this.
in reality, it probably should have been done way back.
Well, yeah,
You know, but
probably should never done it to begin
Put him in a tough spot.
with.
So the meeting today with TxDOT, which tract is that addressing?
that's
Come on, listen.
One. So that's the one, you're gonna talk about the driveway at that track.
Yes, sir.
At that meeting today, I'm sorry.
And you are doing a driveway or a street path?
Jimmy, you want to talk about
We
anything?
talked about, we talked a little bit early on about, we've got some land that comes down to a point there. That's available. There's another option to add them more room if they need it. So we just very briefly talked about if we need to swap, do something like that to help them get. From us, we're there already. We'd like to see the sand and clay pit develop. It's nice. And that's it. So we're willing to help. So.
Right now, I think what we're all discussing is originally what the plan was that 32-acre piece that Topstar bought 10 acres of, and we bought 28 or 12 and 20, that piece was originally going to have a road access to satisfy Commissioner's Court as the secondary access into the Waverly Place subdivision, sections 1, 2, and 3. This would be part of section 2, kind of the last section, but it's section 2. That was going to have an access easement that allowed Topstar to have access through that driveway based on what TxDOT originally said. And that was, and what we're hearing is, I was at that meeting and TxDOT said, CNR's driveway is going to be for CNR only. Topstar is going to have to come off of the road that you provide, and we'll allow that move forward. As Topstar moved forward at a more rapid pace than, because I'll say it's a commercial track, it's a single commercial track, you can move forward that way. When they got a re-permitted use for that driveway, that was, well, it's good news, I think, for both sides, in that they could move forward with that. It was contrary to what TxDOT had said originally, and that would not be allowed. So I think that's kind of the conundrum that we've run into while we're having the meeting, is to make sure that we still got 677 feet of distance between that driveway and where we're planning on putting the driveway in, our road in. So by TxDOT's own statutes and the way their laws work with driveway spacing, we only need 425 feet. So with all of that said, there's nothing in TxDOT that would restrict us from doing that, except TxDOT may have a personal agenda, which they're allowed to have, I guess, but I wouldn't understand why they would go against a 425-foot spacing, which is what is required, and we're 30% beyond that. So long as they may put a restriction that says that Topstar can't have a secondary access, which, based on the plan that they're showing, they're not planning on having that necessarily. Anyway, they may extend the driveway towards that area if necessary, but I wouldn't see why that's for the extra concrete. So if they've already got a driveway, that conversation with TxDOT this afternoon may take on, as long as they don't tie on to and try to access both, we'll allow them to have one or the other, but they can't have both. And if y'all are okay with that, I'll present that to TxDOT. But I don't see why this particular situation would affect TxDOT's decision, other than we're not going to allow, TxDOT would say they're not going to allow that commercial track to have both accesses. And we're fine with developing however Commissioner's Court wants us to. We promised Commissioner's Court, specifically Commissioner Decker, that we would provide a secondary access, and we're committed to that. If for some reason the state says you will not do that, we can still develop the property without having access. The TIA does support a situation with the wider portion of Coleman. But that's not what we want.
It ain't an option.
I mean, that's not what we want.
Yeah.
We want that secondary road. And so that's the point with TxDOT today, is to guarantee that we're getting that permit. We've got all the paperwork to submit to them and to go over that with them this afternoon.
What are you having a special meeting next Monday, Brain, budget wise?
I don't know. We ought to be pretty well done today.
So what, when you walk out of that meeting today, will you have a yes or no?
The goal is to have a yes or no, and the condition of which that yes or no is given.
On paper?
On paper.
It will be unlikely that they will walk out of that meeting with a permit.
Correct.
They may walk out of that meeting with an app. Just for clarification.
Well, and the one thing I'll add is the existing access that was there, this, everybody refers to as a water plant access, was constructed with the right turn lane, which tells me that whenever it was originally planned, it was planned for more than just, one maintenance truck a day going in and out of the water plant. There was, forward thinking there for that driveway access point to be.
Because it was gonna.
That original track was going to be, that was the secondary access to Waverly Place.
I remember that.
And Mr. Hassel gave that to the water plant with the intention of extending water plant service back through, back over to Temple.
So that's the one of the west.
Yeah, all got them.
Okay.
What
what did we have from TxDOT? You know, when we met with them a year ago, did they?
Yeah, we don't have any paperwork. I don't know if y'all did.
It's not a permit.
But-
Had a permit, we have this conversation.
Okay.
I don't have a permit on y'all's entrance. I think one's been issued. but
I
think
got
that was-
In the
And
morning.
the only one I have, I do have a permit for there. So
Well, that was in the paperwork,
Right.
yeah.
I
As
have a
part of-
modified permit for this entrance over.
What are they putting in this other spot,
They
Brian?
had modified.
What are they putting in this other spot? 12 acres. What are they putting in?
12 acres?
Yeah, that right there. What are they gonna put there?
Top Star
Correct.
Construction Company, they're gonna have a office yard,
Oh, man.
That's really it.
That's their business.
that's
Yeah.
shop area.
Okay.
But I think I saw 80 by 200 or something, 60 by 225 building for a shop area,
All the shop together.
Okay.
kind of like a barn though. Two questions. We have waited this long, is 2 weeks gonna hurt you? Okay, I'm actually pretty comfortable moving forward today, as long as y'all are. What's y'all's thoughts?
I'd just like to see the meeting with TxDOT first.
What time's that meeting?
3 o'clock. And I asked Ms. Reyes if it would be okay if I invited another significant party members of Commissioner Decker, if you, Judge, would like to go, y'all are welcome to join and hear this firsthand. And I encourage that. What I didn't want to do is show up with a team of 12 people where TxDOT feels like they're being pinned down, that we don't get good.
I think. I think.
Yeah.
Access and come back.
No, I'm short-handed tomorrow. I can't make it tomorrow.
I'll vote for you.
No. I mean, it comes down to if for some reason you don't get a entrance on that TxDOT right away, I mean, on the other track,
That changes.
then that changes the whole aspect of the whole subdivision.
Sure.
You know?
So I like the idea of, after we conclude regular business today, recessing and coming back at 9 a.m. tomorrow after he has his meeting, and he can tell them everything but a permit. You can say, they said hell no, or they could say, we don't,
Joe, who's your meeting with?
Ms. Reyes,
Yeah,
the area
You
office.
don't, I mean, you need a little more, well, I mean, it works up the ladder, but
Oh, this has been going on for a while.
I understand, but you know,
I mean, we confirmed that, you know, if the trips per day warrants a turn lane, that they've got enough access, you know, right away on 1375. It's been pretty extensive conversations.
To assist Commissioner Decker. We didn't confirm. Somebody at TxDOT told us.
Okay.
There you go.
If Jeremy said 2 weeks won't, make or break them, I'd hate to, have y'all call a special meeting tomorrow just over this one issue. Could we authorize planning to proceed with the plan reviews while we're waiting that 2 weeks? And then the other thing I would ask is, can we modify the variance to plat the track separately so that we can go ahead and proceed with platting our piece to meet the variance while they're finalizing their land plan and plans and everything else? That way it moves everything forward in agreement with the variance. And then once we know the outcome, it's still first plan review because they've been sitting there for, a few months. So there's going to be some comments to be addressed. So when we get those back while we're addressing, we'll have that answer. If TxDOT says, no, you can't have both, well, then in the plan revisions, we work together and combine that into one point of access.
Well, I don't know.
Are you good with that?
I don't have objection to moving our administrative side forward at all. It's just, I'm tied by
Yeah.
issuing permits until the court. These conditions.
You do that, or you need that in a motion?
So I can.
You're good on 2 weeks. Can we get a letter of intent out of that meeting today?
I will get something out. Short of demanding, I will request strongly, urgently, a letter or something in writing stating what the position of TxDOT is specific.
What time is it?
3 o'clock. And I would even volunteer that if the judge wants to appoint a committee of two commissioners to join, and whatever that committee then comes. And while it's not a decision of a court, it's at least the weight of
Firsthand.
but it's firsthand information.
I'm not bringing this back in 2 weeks. You go ahead and start reviewing, their stuff.
Court is, the court, I just want to double check. Court's okay with me proceeding administratively reviewing outside of this.
I don't have an issue with it.
Then yes, we can do that.
And maybe Joe can get some answers.
And two of us can go meeting, great, if you can't. And it'll be good.
You're not gonna
Get
put a
back.
committee on it.
No.
No. I'll see if I can rearrange my schedule and be there at 3.
Okay.
I don't think that's a good idea, honestly. I think you need to stay out of it, man.
Stay out of it.
What do you think, Quentin?
I recommend staying out of it.
Yeah, it just it don't fit what we're supposed to be doing.
Well, then you're going to have to bring us something back, says, not a he said, she said, hey, we want a letter of intent is what, we had talked. That we're gonna give you access to, we're gonna give you road access with the contingent upon A through Z.
Yes, sir. And that's, you and I had discussed that, and that's the goal of this meeting. But I want to accommodate whatever else the court wants. But have me ask for it.
To be clear,
If anything.
if the other party that's here with the variance today, they've got their permit. This group that we're dealing with now.
Right, but if he brings us back something that says we intend to give you a driveway. Other
You
than
guys
verbal,
would have a letter of intent, and a permit from the other party.
and it satisfies where we need to be.
And at that point, you can talk. Plating, wow. This back to plat separately, which I don't necessarily have enough, it would be a single lot plat.
Right.
Or waive the plating requirement that was imposed altogether. All's called. Just allow it as a meets and bounds tract.
You know, say, I don't, we have a preference either way. If you want to apply it, you know, I'd prefer those, you know, each one be independent. If you want to wait it, you know. That's.
I would prefer
guess you
to
can make
split it as an individual.
Well, either way, you're gonna come back in 2 weeks.
Huh?
Either way, you gotta come back in 2
Either way,
weeks.
come back.
Okay, we're gonna pass on 71, bring it back in 2 weeks.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Stand 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Yeah. All right, take 5-minute break. All right, we're back at 10:47 for budget workshop.
Oh, you are?
The first item, go over is the, policies. There were 4 changes that brought to you last time. One is changing part. The second one was,
Somewhere in there, you're talking about financial policy.
financial policy.
Something in there does not read right.
Actually, Bill sent me, Bill, you want to go through the modifications?
Item
On page
48. What number, what page are you on?
25, 26, I think 25.
This,
What number, Bill?
Getting over here, Hank.
item 48.
Book of wind.
It's one with the red square up on the screen up yonder.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about?
Judge, for clarification. Are you in the workshop or are you under item 48?
No, we're in the workshop.
Okay, so I read this one this morning. The one with the red square up inside there. Basically, the county auditor prepares the budget workbook and revenue estimates and assists the county judge in preparing the budget. And then there was some stuff in there and he and will submitting to commissioner's court. So I sent a recommended language that says basically up to the county judge. The county judge assists the county judge in preparing and submitting the budget to commissioner's court for discussion. Is that sentence replacing that
Reads
one?
much.
Yeah, okay. I'll go with that.
And then, the fourth change was, this basically saying the judge can present his budget.
Yeah, I like that one.
as he- And then the last one was the change to, reflect that, retiree insurance would be as, outlined within the personnel policies rather than defined here. Any questions on that? And going to the budget workshop folder. This folder, shows all the information that's been, a consensus reached on to date. And as presented at this point, it reflects that we have, $313,128 more revenue that's not allocated at this point. And then this packet, it rolls that money into fund balance. It also recognizes the confusion that with the EMS, EMS as previously presented, was in a pay grade, but they were budgeted at an amount greater than that pay grade. This reflects a change to the pay scale that actually creates a new pay scale that's equivalent to what they're actually budgeted at. That would be reflected on page.
I think so.
I think so.
I ain't 100% sure. I'm fixing my.
That's what she said, budget workshop book.
Oh, yes, very last page. They were, our EMTs were previously budgeted in pay grade 113 and 113A. But there were other people in those positions that were their midpoint is 73,852. The midpoint on the EMTs are 82,403, so they're placed in a separate pay grade of 115. Same pay, it's just reflective of that their midpoint is different than the other employees. And the same thing for the EMS district and division chief. So this just creates the pay grades to be reflective of EMS's midpoint.
Okay, on the paramedics, if we're paying them $19 an hour to $22 an hour, how did we get to that 82,000?
That 82,000 is for the 34 hours divided, is this salary divided by the 33. 19 this is about $24 an hour. The 19 number that Amy gave you is what some of the paramedics positions are currently being paid. There are quite a few positions that are paid below market.
But a lot of this is overtime, correct? Am I wrong on that or not? Because
It's the annual salary they would make if they work their normal shift all year.
but their normal shift is not a 40-hour shift.
It's,
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They work 3,334 hours in order to make this
That's right.
number shown here.
I guess I have issues with it.
You have to hold your tongue right.
Once you get over the 40 hours, I mean, basically, that's what I look at as their salary, the 40 hours, and then overtime on top of that.
Okay, I want.
But just because it's not.
Yeah.
Discussion, the one that says EMS alternate plan. This was developed as, after actually Brandon did quite a bit of research with Amy and set up some meetings to kind of figure out what were people being paid as compared to what they were being budgeted. And we looked at, and Brandon, feel free to, intersect anytime you want to.
Sure.
But when we looked at it, what was requested in the budget were for 3 EMTs to be moved to paramedic positions. And the court consensus was to fund $56,000 for that. When you look at what people were being paid and what was budgeted, there's a big difference there. But more importantly, we have 6 vacant paramedic positions. So there wasn't a lot to be gained.
And 3 paramedic positions that are filled right now with EMS basics. So we actually have 9 open paramedic positions.
So the thought was, is that $56,000 best use to move more people to a budget when you've already got more positions than you can that are filled? But could that $56,000 be used toward funding the pay increase for the paramedics as a recruitment and retention plan? That $56,000, if you gave the paramedics, and this was kind of a figure Brandon pulled, if you gave them $2 an hour, you could fund up to 7 positions at this level that's shown as pay grade 2 on page
What are we in now? Which packet?
EMS.
the EMS alternate plan. Going to page
Last page.
15. Okay. What this would do was would allow for you to have paramedics 1 and paramedics 2. The paramedics 2 would be budgeted at, in this plan, $2 more per hour for up to 7 of these positions in red. So again, it's just an alternate plan that does allow to distinguish between paramedics that come in with experience, meet criteria that's been established by the EMS chief. Could hire some people at the higher rate or pay her existing people at that higher rate. So I'll kind of turn it over to Brandon and Bill, but this is an alternate use of that $56,000.
Well, at some point, I haven't talked to Rachel about this, but if you don't get away from those 3 shifts, you'll never keep these things filled. I mean, you're requiring them to work 1,000 hours overtime. That's part of your salary.
Something I mentioned to her even before this conversation was we need to at least know what that costs. That she needs to look at Walker County. What would it take to get us to a 4 shift? If you go to 4 shifts, your overtime drops by about, I think it's about 500 hours a year. The hours that they work drops because so the people actually spend less time at work because it's a 4-shift schedule. So there's some overtime numbers that might roll back a little bit. I don't have any idea what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's just me talking out.
Yeah,
loud, but-
my thoughts to her was, look, let's get past budget this year, and then you can kind of take a deep breath and kind of start fresh and call whoever's on it for. I think Harris County's on one, Montgomery County's on one. I don't know, but the bigger ones seem to be on 4 shifts. So find out, does that translate up here? You know, if it's 25 more people, we know that can't happen. If it's 12 and 3 or 4 can be paid for by reduction in overtime, then now you can start, maybe incrementalize your way up a couple people a year. And at some point you can go into it. So I think that's a conversation that's coming, but I don't think it's gonna get there until after this budget year.
How long has it been since you changed shifts? What were we on before? Do you remember?
They had, I don't remember the terminology.
Been that long.
Our shifts,
Yeah.
it's been what, 3-4 months now?
Rachel is on.
Yeah.
Rachel there?
Rachel's on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. What was the question? Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
What were you on before, Rachel? And
We-
how long have you been on this? I mean, it hadn't been that long since you changed.
So we still have 3 shifts. That has never changed. So therefore the hours have never changed. It's just the configuration of what hours they work in a row. So previously we would work 24-hour shifts, 24 hours on and 48 hours off. I think in 2022 or 2023, we changed it to work 48 hours on and 96 hours off. So two
Talking about
shifts
80.
on and 4 shifts off.
Yeah, and your employees kind of requested that, didn't they?
Yes, they did. So there's only so many different configurations of
Yeah.
how you can rotate the hours, and it's either a 24/48, a 48/96, or the 9-day rotation. And so our employees elected, the majority of them, to switch to the 48/96, and then we did keep one station that's on the 9-day. So it's still 3 shifts. It's still the same amount of hours. It's just how they work them.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, y'all go ahead. I just don't.
Well, making the 3 more paramedics just makes sense, but we're trying to get. The goal is when you go to a job fair, when they walk past your table and you're paying from A to point B, they're just gonna keep. This gives us an avenue where you can have your number a little higher, that couple dollars extra an hour. And that would be a good experienced person. That's what I talked with Rachel about. You come in there and you got somebody who wants to come from somewhere else and you can pay them a decent, more than what we're paying now. That gets you at $27 an hour.
I'm gonna go back. What do you pay
25.96.
before you pay overtime? That's what I call your salary. That's what Ronnie calls it.
That's not how this world works.
I know, but this shit is bullshit.
I don't know how to deal with it. I ain't got a shovel big enough. Because it's not just us. It's not hard. It's how it works.
Yeah, that is across.
We're gonna require you to work 1,000 hours overtime. We're gonna reduce your monthly, your hourly rate. So, we're gonna bring it back down to $20. Now you're gonna have to work 1,000 hours overtime to get the money. That's the way I look at it. It's like holding a gun to somebody's.
That's how it is,
Yeah.
but Brandon's exactly right. That's how all of them do
Yeah,
it.
it's not us. It's
But
across the board.
to answer that question, currently, that would be if they were budgeted at market and they did not work overtime, they would be making $24 an hour, correct? And then when they're working overtime,
24 with the red stuff here.
as before we do the level 2 or your paramedic
Yeah.
right now, is that not correct, Rachel?
Currently, Currently, the base is 1818
We in
to
budget.
396 an hour.
That's at market.
Okay, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the lower end to the market. So $18.18
What was that number, Bill?
up to $23.96.
2396.
$23.96 is the high end right now.
Correct.
Low end is 19 something.
Yeah.
Dollars an hour.
Yeah, the market.
What I'm asking to do here, or proposing to do, is give you 7 positions, but you could give $2 more an hour, and get you from that $23.96 an hour up to $25.96 an hour.
That doesn't change, this.
No, stays the same. That's using the same money.
Yeah, the only concern I have with it, and I know we talked about it a little bit, is how it's going to affect our district chiefs. You know, if they don't get anything, so if they fell into this, that would bring to a total of 4 positions that I could do something with.
But Rachel, right now, none of your division or district chiefs are being even paid at current market. Is that correct?
They should be.
They're
I
not.
mean,
I don't think they are.
so there are people that are not maxed out, because I'm not going to max all of my employees out and then not be able to give them raises based on, you know, their experience or their additional duties, or, you know.
You can't say that and then tell us that you don't have the money to hire somebody, and tell us we need to give you more money when you have more money.
Exactly.
My max is still not anywhere close to anybody else's.
Right,
I mean,
right
you're
now, you
starting
have
them out.
$144,000 that you're not spending in labor fees. And you're telling us you need more money. You have $244,000 to give your employees.
Most of my employees currently are new. They're less than 2 years of experience.
Yeah.
So there has
So
to
the
be
experience
room
is the
to
job.
give
Well,
them
that's the same
raises.
with us out there. I mean, our new people
Based
don't
on
get it.
their position, so.
Well,
I get that.
And that
When
was
you
my,
top employee is 5 years and you're still not getting maxed out,
Right.
then what is the incentive for them to stay?
Yeah, one thing
Might not be worth
the
maxing out. I got some out there.
allows her to do is, of course, she can always hire up to market.
And you do.
Yeah.
We maxed
Her
her
hand,
out.
her hand.
Day one, I'm sure y'all did.
Rachel currently
I
has
have-
the option of hiring someone at market up to market based on experience. What the new plan does is allow her to give an additional $2 to current or new hiring employees based on experience. So this broadens the range she currently has.
We got
Yeah.
4 employees that are paid budget amount. Out of
I
all
have
EMS.
some employees that if we don't get anything this year, I can give them 13 cents an hour raise. And those
Yeah.
are senior.
Okay, well, why didn't you ask for them employees and not all this other? I mean, I'll tell you, Rachel, I feel like we got rolled last year for $3 an hour. All right, you didn't tell us none of this stuff that you had $240,000 left that you can allocate to your employees. You told us you could not keep your employees, and the court give you $3 an hour for every employee that was a paramedic, right?
I think we did across the
Or
board.
did we do across?
We did across the board because she
They
said
all
we
got it.
couldn't get them off of,
Yeah.
because the paramedics were gonna make as much as the division.
So,
chief
I
and
mean,
district
but
chief.
at the end of the day, you can't hire a day one paramedic at market and tell them competitively, that's all you're ever going to get from us. You can't do that. You have to have some sort of a job progression.
I get that, Bill.
Yeah.
I do, but that ain't the story we were told. All right.
The medics
Yeah.
last year got the $3 an hour. Me and Amy went through and did all the paperwork on those medics.
Right.
Everybody got $3 an hour there.
Correct.
From you all the way to the bottom.
I don't,
No,
I
she
don't
didn't
think
get
I got it.
Cause we sat there and said, if we do paramedics, we gotta do division chiefs too. Because then they would be making the same amount of money as division chiefs, so we
So we
gave a
did.
pay raise there too.
So we did do
Yes,
division.
everybody got
didn't
it
do-
except for my position and the assistant chief position, which is
Yeah.
fine. That's not, I'm not concerned about either of those positions.
Yeah, so before we gave them $3 an hour, the $19 an hour we're talking about entry level right now was $16.
Absolutely, that's pocket change.
We're
that-
paying
Yeah,
some
my grandmother
16.
started more than that just
So we're,
days ago.
you know, you're,
We have,
First-
the EMTs are paid 16. There's
I
different
see that. It
levels.
says paid EMT 16.
yeah,
Yes, so
We're
that's
paying
just
our-
the position they're in. They're not paramedics. That's how the
I
auditors
understand that.
keep track of our actual positions, the spots that we can fill.
yeah. So when you go recruit and you tell them I can pay you $23.96 an hour, you know, to start, and they're like, that's great. What happens after that? You're like, that's it.
Nothing.
So that's all you get. You're at the mercy of whatever the COLA is from here forward. That's not a real recruiting tool. If you're hiring
That's
it
the
in,
We
majority.
tell everybody else that.
Yeah, that's the majority of everybody else.
we don't hire, we
We
hire
spare the
nobody.
sheriff's
else's-
department.
Hang on a second, hang on. We don't hire Joe Blow off the street. Hey, I've just got my paramedic license yesterday. Can I start? We don't start them at market.
Well, if you need them, you do, Bill.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah.
So you're,
We
okay.
do.
I understand the part about you need a step method in there. All right, I get it. But in all reality, if it is told to me that I cannot keep my employees because I need more money and the
Yeah.
employees you got have not been tapped out, then what is the use of me helping?
The
If you-
majority of our medics there's only a couple of them that are paid at the lower end because they just got their paramedic license within the last 2 months. Our more
Yeah.
senior employees are nearly maxed out. Our middle employees are nearly maxed out. As it is, I can give everybody something, but it's all over the place.
You got one person you can give $17,000 to, one for 12. One for 16, one for 14,000, one for 9,000, 10,000, 4,000, 7, 8,000, 6,500, 6,800, $4,000, 16,000, 16,000, 13,000, 11,000.
All right, so if you're telling these people, we can hire you in it, we have to hire you in at market to be competitive, then you're telling them that our entry level is not right. That's exactly what we're saying. We are not paying our entry level person enough. We have to be competitive, you have to come in at market or almost there. That's what we're saying. So if we're saying that, then we're saying out loud that our scale is wrong for these people. She gets them in here and a lot of them wash out, not necessarily because of pay, but several wash out because of pay. But once again, if you're sitting at the job fair, oh yeah, we paid $23.97, you know, and Houston pays 24 or whatever. And you're like,
Okay, all right, they pay 24. Then go to Houston and ride that damn ambulance for 48 hours.
Right
or
now.
24 hours.
Right now.
Whatever the shift is. And don't sit on I mean, I know they work, don't get me wrong, but it's not like working in Montgomery County or Harris County. So there is perks. You can go to Montgomery County, you can go to Harris County and make 10, 15 more $1,000. But
And
you are
drive.
gonna be wide awake the whole time. You ain't gonna take a break, you ain't gonna go eat nowhere, you ain't gonna do nothing but
And
work.
that's currently
So-
where my crews are now because I can't keep these trucks staffed.
yeah.
So they're running just as much as they're running in Houston or Montgomery County.
All right, so let me circle back to your shift you charge here. So $2 an hour is for a grand total of how many people? 7?
7.
Any of these positions, up to 7 of them could be paid at the what's marked as a 2, a paramedic 2. You've got a paramedic 1, you've got a paramedic 2.
Right.
You've got a district chief 1, a district chief 2,
Yeah.
a division chief 2. So up to 7 of those people could be paid in that pay grade 2, any mix.
Okay.
So she could have, if she had 7 chiefs, she could do all 7.
How many chiefs, division chiefs we have? Three division chiefs.
We have 3 district chiefs and 1
Three
division
district
chief.
Yeah, but currently these positions are not even at a 1 at the current market.
Right.
Except I think 1 is.
Yeah.
Because of years of service and experience.
Yeah, most of it is years of service and experience. Most of
Yeah.
my medics became medics between 2023 and now. So they're
So
new
those
medics.
positions should become vacant. She would have the option of course, promoting up or advertising. And depending on the experience of the person and the criteria she had established, she could hire him as a 1 at or below market 1, or she could hire him as a 2 at or below market for a 2.
Yeah.
But if she's got people now that can promote up within the 1, then she won't have to use one of those 7 positions.
Correct. And we can absolutely do that. They all get raises every October 1st.
And I don't disagree with the judge or Commissioner Kirkendall. We've got a lot of room in here that we need to, you and I talked about it when we met over. Base floor of 19 may need to go up to that 20. Everybody on this list, and if we're struggling for employees, we gotta, yes, you have to have a tier like Bill's talking about, but we need to move that base floor up a little bit, and you've got the ability to do that right now. What I'm after with the
I can do that with a lot of the newer people, we have room to move them up with no problem.
Right.
The more,
and you can do that today. So,
yeah,
you can make that adjustment now. With the 56 we were using the paramedics, that's still basically at our top tier. That way we have a chance to, some of these are the experienced ones. If we have a chance at a job fair to pick up an experienced one, she's got a little bit of leverage in it.
Yeah. And I think the first step would be that court approves this 2 level for these positions. Then Rachel as chief would need to write the job description and the criteria that distinguishes a 1 and a 2 position, which seems obvious would be experience and longevity in the field as a paramedic. But
and longevity can't be tied to Walker County.
No.
If you get a paramedic from the outside that's got longevity of being a paramedic for 15 years, the experience is more important to me than the longevity.
Exactly.
If you're tying it to Walker County.
Absolutely. I'm talking about the criteria. The effect of this on the budget would be $56,016, and that money could be that money could be replaced with the money that was budgeted for adding 3 paramedics to the road. And at some point that will probably need to be done after these other positions are filled, but right now we've got vacancies.
See what I'm trying to do, Danny?
Yeah.
You gotta agree with me.
I just don't know how we came up. We needed $100,000 for every $1 and now we got it down to $56,000 for $2 an hour.
Well, the 56, and that's only for 7.
27.
So we're only giving 7 people pay raises.
Yeah, well, that 56
and
will
beyond
only,
2 hours.
no, everybody else can plus the 5.
No, EMS.
But that
I'm on
only, that basically says, we think that with the $2 a raise an hour, that we would be able to fund with that same amount of money that's already included in the consensus budget.
So what we gonna do next year when we still got the same problem?
Well, we need a solution. And kicking it down the street ain't a solution.
I-
So we have to, that's why I said a couple of weeks ago, I think that I'll bring it as a.
Cause
agenda
last
item
year,
after
$3
October
an
1,
hour was gonna fix it.
that we do. Well, what kind of crappy ass shape would we be in if we didn't do that?
The same, we got the same amount of employees left open.
You may be worse, honestly.
Yeah, you would definitely
You
be
paying them $16 an hour. That's pretty
worse
good.
because these
Still
other
got the
people
same
are.
amount of- You still got the same amount of job.
It's always going to be a problem, but you can't just close your eyes and hope it goes away. You got to do something that you figure out how these people are going to stay. So actually, we talked about looking at a new schedule after the first of the year. Maybe that happens, maybe it don't. But in the meantime, I like the idea of, hey, let's take some of these folks that, whether it's our people or recruiting new people, and put a little bit better carrot out there and say, hey, come on over here, look what we just did. And we got room. And like I said, I'll be bringing an agenda item probably after the first of the year as a project thing to, I think we need to do a salary study again, whether it's just EMS or countywide. I'd like it to be countywide, and figure out how we're going to fund that. Because EMS isn't the only department that the base rate hiring in is not competitive, that you have to hire above that to get somebody here. So it's true.
Well, and that's the whole deal behind this bill. It seems to think that EMS is the only one, and it's not. It is county.
Right, but EMS is the one, like I said before, we're down 9 paramedics. We lost 2 last week, not to quitting, to injury. So they're out for
We're
an
at
extended
3.
time.
3 out for
3?
injury.
We're up to 3 now. We're down 3. So once again, you got to figure out who's going to
At
answer.
least they didn't leave for money.
Right, they didn't leave for money. They were hurt. So they're out for no telling how long each one. Can't do medical details, but they're out for a bit. So we got to do something. And it's ours. We own it. Like I said before, we own this department. It's ours. We owe our people a quality product to the best we can do. And if you're down 9, 10, 11 of your paramedics, more than a third now, that's an issue. That's trouble. I like it. Make your motion. I'll second.
Yeah, I still have a problem with that, 1,000 hours required overtime, holding a gun to my damn head.
But that's the deal, Ronnie. You're not holding a gun to their head.
Yeah, you are.
This sheet, look at them. There's people working more than that. This is what they do. This is, I
I
mean.
understand that totally. I work for the state.
That's what they do.
You know,
I
I
mean,
mean,
You got a couple of them
but
here.
still, I mean,
That's the
considering
position
that their
they're
salary is what you're doing, I mean, it's not, it's overtime. To me, it's just, you got a salary and then you make overtime.
Yeah.
Well, y'all figuring that in as salary and you're reducing the rate that you're paying them per hour by doing that. And to me, it's just bullshit. But
Yeah, well, I
the
mean.
way I feel about it, you know,
Only other choice you got is keep adding them pennies.
I know
Yeah.
So how far you want to go?
I work for the state. And we asked for something one time and they really done us right. They put us on 10 hours for 5 days a week and showed 8 hours every day. The state of Texas did that to us. They got a lawsuit about 10 years later, but you know, we asked for that and we got something.
I think it's.
I didn't participate in the lawsuit. I just quit.
Just one
That's
second.
right.
We'll come
All right.
back to it.
Oh, you don't need to let it settle in. Just.
The other thing is that, of course, with, when we do the budget, we estimate the available funds. When we get the certified value, we know what they ask.
Which one you, no,
I'm lost.
Back on, are there any other changes you want to make to the budget that's going to be filed? By using any of that money that has not already been allocated?
How much was that we're talking about putting in the reserves?
There's
313.
313?
I would,
I'd like to take that and put it in long range.
that's certainly could do. The other thing y'all talked about was
Going is that
engineer.
one time.
Yeah.
Just this one. Well, it'll be ongoing.
I mean, it's ongoing now, what you're saying, right? It's in the tax rate.
Yeah, this is tax rate.
Yeah, and you talked about the engineer, we've talked about the indigent defense, we budgeted 50, we know we need at least 100. And then the 100,000 that we are not going to get unless the bill is passed, the 100,000 for the Forest Service money.
What do we find out about that? Do we
They
know?
still arguing.
Still arguing? Okay.
It came out of the Senate and waiting on the House or vice versa.
Something like that.
So that maybe not allocated until we know what that rolling fund balance, but
Yeah.
if there's anything else you do want to fund, such as putting the money in the long range planning or the engineer or anything else, now would.
Where's our transport deputy fit in? Have we even talked about it?
It's in.
So it's in it? Okay.
I like the idea of setting some money aside for the future building, but I've been kind of a late convert to it, but I think we had to explore the idea of getting a county engineer on board here. So I would see like 175 to a county engineer, 100,000 to a dedicated future plan that would give us kickoff money in the future for engineering design costs. And then whatever remainder to indigent care or whatever like that to fill it up. I don't think I want to put all 313 in a future deal, because to me that's a 0.5 cent on the tax rate. That if we're not gonna use it and just set it aside, I'd be kind of iffy on that. But I don't have no trouble putting 100. If we commit 100 a year for the 3 or 4 years leading up to our actual kickoff of construction.
Okay, would you go through those one at a time and see?
I think 175 for a county engineer. I think I'm ready for that. I think I am.
All right, well, how much did we spend last year, Andy, in engineering fees? Couple 100,000? All right, then I'm not. I think if you got $175,000 laying around, you add it to the employees for the COLA. It's my opinion. Well, what do we need a county engineer for?
Well, just
one person?
Well, just the small things that come through that don't require going down to Belial, but we send them down to we'll talk to Andy about it. Let's let him visit.
I mean, you're in and out with an engineer one way or the other.
Yeah.
Andy, are we to the point we need an engineer in your office?
Look, it's like most things. It's helpful to have the additional help, especially the technical help. Or like what Bill's saying, when I put my backup small reviews that we can handle in-house. I don't see us shifting the cost away from contract review on the main plats, on the main plans over to that person. But
could be.
But
I don't know. I've never had it.
Action on the preliminary review
Contract
work for sure. We're handling what we got now, but everything helps.
Easier so.
I mean, I think
you're creating another position, basically, a high-end position.
The other ad that you add when you bring, Mark County's never had a county engineer ever. So some people kind of feel like we did because Jerry worked so many hours for the county.
Right.
He was
He
contract.
was contract the whole time. So
There's contract.
there's also, as I presented to you guys, some additional liabilities with having an engineer whose staff who is sealing or approving or whatever that you offset with when you're using. I'm not saying it's massive, but it exists.
I don't know. I mean, I know you're creeping up on the time you're gonna get one eventually.
Yeah.
But could you start out with maybe a part-time engineer and not just go full staff?
I don't know. I don't know if that guy's out there. I think it's
You don't think they exist?
I don't know. Do part-time engineers by contract exist, Andy?
I mean, we kind of have that.
You got that.
We kind of had that down
We'll
there.
do it by contract.
Yeah, we don't need a contract. We're looking at a part-time employee.
That's basically what we're doing now. That's what we've done since I've been here, is use contract engineers.
Yeah. I think it's coming.
I think it's here. I think we need to invest in it. Y'all see what's on present. Benefit Andy, I'd be shorten the wait times and get some of these.
I don't think so, because if you're looking at taking somebody that's bringing in a plat.
I'm not talking about that. Plats.
Yeah.
That's got to stay out where they've got.
Most of your other
engineers.
stuff is done on grants anyhow, so it has to be engineered.
What?
Most of your other stuff is done on grants. Your big projects is done on grants. I mean, are you gonna engineer a culvert crossing? very seriously doubt.
Wish they'd engineering that bridge I got problems with.
Well, you built it.
I can honestly say I sure did.
But nevertheless, something like that was act of God, and who knows? I mean, if you built it bomb-proof, it might not have lasted, you know, so.
Man can't make nothing, God can't tear up.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. Yeah, so, I mean, is it worth spending $175,000 on? In my opinion, no. It's my opinion.
So am I hearing no?
Well, I'm not 100% out, but I don't really want to go the whole thing, you know, I'd rather just kind of start out, graduate into it, and if that's a possibility.
I don't know.
And I don't know if it is or not, I mean.
I'd asked Andrew about this several years ago, maybe it was last year. We don't know what's out there because you can't advertise if you don't have the money to.
Yeah.
Anyways, right?
We have enough money in our special contingency. If at sometime during the year, the court does want to pursue that and go out, we have the special contingency that you could look at mid-year maybe. If that's the.
I'll
go
go 50%.
I'll go 50% where
It
you're
would
right
be
now.
unfunded, so either the job would have to be closed out at the end of the budget or built into the tax rate then.
Oh, y'all meet me in the middle here now.
What was the proposal?
50% of that, I mean, that's a lot to take off with.
Do 50%.
So if you, see if you can find something part-time with you might find a retired engineer that wants to kind of fill in.
Would you be okay with that if we did just start the position halfway through the year?
That's what I'm saying. You can do what
Yeah.
Patricia's talking about,
Yeah.
not fund it or not built it in the tax rate now, take it out of one-time money or
And
whatever.
if it don't work, we just pull it next year?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
That way, if you see they're sitting still, which I think is a lot of what they're gonna be doing.
Pull the plug on 2 months in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because you're not gonna,
That's fair.
That's fair.
yeah, I mean, you're not gonna have something every day for them.
I'll go for
That's-
that.
I mean, Andy needs a lot of help in his office, but I don't know that the engineer is, I mean,
My request would be if you're gonna do half the funding, to not strap it down to having to hire a full-time person for half the year. Maybe give me some options to go explore getting somebody who's a PE back over. I don't want to offer this, but man, I'm having a really hard time, speaking of having a hard time filling positions, filling my program coordinator position. We interview, but the applicants I'm getting for that position are more of the development technician 2 type applicants, right? And so maybe there's something there to sort of bridge between the two.
I'd be more inclined to that. You've had that position open, what, we've 2 or 3,
Build it, and then
2
we
years?
back
Yeah.
open again, and we interview for it, but it's just getting the right applicant that can do that job, and that job is very difficult. It's very difficult finding an applicant that criteria of that job. And
So
so
what are you asking?
maybe that might be some half measure. To find somebody who's maybe in the engineering sector that could come in and fill that position. And then you would have somebody who's an engineer who's on staff, but not necessarily a county engineer, but a staff engineer that could handle low-hanging engineering work and engineering review work. I hate to offer it because I'm sort of getting more technical expertise, but sacrificing existing girth, right? And that's always a little scary, but look, we've been operating without it because it's hard to fill it. So, and
So that
doesn't take me long to figure out it's better to have no one than the wrong person in position.
I
that
totally.
job does what, 90,000 a year right now? Is that?
It's not, I don't know what the total with benefits is one of my 2 highest paid.
So if we went and got an engineer, theoretically, we could probably do half of this. We could probably do like 90,000.
Yeah, so I
use
could,
that
I
90,000.
could maybe open up, that would give me more hiring range in that posting. And
Yeah.
maybe be able to attract some additional technical criteria.
What do y'all think of that? Gives him a little bit more room to put a PE in that spot. I mean, it would be, you would just change the job description to be a PE in that spot, not just another person.
Are they gonna be too good to do that other work though?
Not if I hire them.
If not, send their ass to the house.
Well, that's, I don't know what number that is in your in your department, but
It's number 3 right now.
that's number
Me,
3.
Program coordinator, and then this is the other program coordinator. It's just below that.
Yeah.
So you, Annette, then this person. Basically, right?
This person's sort of over to the side of Annette.
Okay. The point is, if you decide to go on vacation,
Yeah. If I can find someone, we'll see if I can find someone.
so y'all talking about taking maybe of this 313, throw 100 at it, and then leave the 213 can go towards our building. And the indigent care, we can do out of.
Entrance when it comes.
Yeah.
Okay, so consensus, let me allocate $100,000 to planning and development for engineering recruitment. And then that could be adding to a position or hiring a part-time or whatever. He would come back to you with that.
Okay.
Consensus on that.
And this is all money that's built in the tax rate.
Yep.
With
Yeah,
the
say
2
that
cent.
again, I wasn't listening.
Pull 100 of this 313 out for planning development.
Okay,
To rework that position as a.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think it's a good scenario.
And then we'd have to come back during the year
Okay, great.
with his proposal and probably do amendments to the pay scale
Well,
and
that's what I'm
pay
looking at.
classification.
Yes.
But it gives him the option
That
to
working?
go out and look for something to bring back.
Right.
That PE is gonna be bigger than this 112 we're at.
Say it again.
No, I mean, it depends on how many years. Are you looking for a 30, 20-year person or a 5 or 10-year person?
I'm looking for something that's gonna make that department run more efficient, make your life easier.
Yeah. So
You tell me what it needs to be.
if I at least have access to the potential of the additional money, it will help me to go locate somebody that will do that job. Instead of setting it right now, why don't you let me go back to you on that?
Okay.
And I'm not even saying this is your top priority, don't get me wrong. You guys have a lot of stuff on your plate, a lot of ass. That's y'all's business. I'm just trying to help out.
Yeah, at this point,
Like
we
next
would
year.
not be modifying the pay plan nor the employee allocation. We would be setting up a budget line that would be moved when Andrew brings back his plan.
Right.
Okay, is that the consensus?
That's my consensus.
I'm good with that.
And the second thing was 213 to long-term planning.
What?
Or 100,000, I didn't understand that.
But when I was breaking out for the engineer and then 100 and then whatever was left over for something, but before that, do you remember what we paid for our salary study? 65, 50?
40-ish,
40-ish.
40,000-ish.
So probably 60 would get us.
Yeah.
This year. I think we need to put 60 in there to go back and do a salary.
One time.
That could be one-time money though, Bill. This is.
Yeah.
I'm finding.
This is tax roll money.
Whichever.
Yeah.
Whichever, but I think, I mean, if it's not in our budget yet, but I think, whoops, sorry about that. I think it's gotta be in there, so yeah, one time is fine.
The 213, if we put that in long range, I don't know what you're gonna have to code it as, but that helps. If we do a justice center, if we do
A parking lot.
parking lot,
build-
anything, it starts it. It's just my opinion.
Precinct 2 roads. Precinct 2 roads.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, it's
we
a
know
fund of
our
money that'll
facility,
build, but.
yeah.
At some point, we got a plan for growth. We got a 10-year timeline on the land.
Yes.
Right? There's other stuff that's wearing down and we're
Sure.
gonna have to do. Stair step it in, and once you
Yeah.
get it there, it's way easier to start planning. Instead of a couple cents here and there on a tax roll one time trying to build a building.
Yeah, this is what a penny at 213,
Third
of a penny.
Third.
What was the jail, 7?
Came out, it was 7, now it's down to less than 2.
Yeah, and I'm thinking probably the way I would handle that in the budget, in general fund, we show it as a transfer to the capital projects fund. And then we'd increase the budget in the capital projects fund by that 213.
I would like to see it kept completely separate.
I think I would too.
Yeah, as a long range or a
Yeah, I don't know
future
what you
growth.
put it to, but I'd rather it be kept completely
Yeah.
separate because something happened, we've been on spinach. I mean, something major happens. Not that we can't go get it, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but at least it's earmarked for something down the road.
Well, the capital projects is, in fact, this year in the budget, there's about $300,000 worth of interest that will be earned, and that's in a special fund. It's called capital improvements, but
Right.
if y'all wanna.
We're talking about putting that into that.
But if you prefer, I can set up a new fund called Long Range Planning Fund. If that's the preference.
I would think it'd be separate, in my opinion. That way, you know, at least when y'all start looking.
It's
It would
committed.
make it easy
Yeah.
when we get down the road and we say, hey, we need 5 cents to build this building, we convert that on the line item to debt services in that bond, instead of a bond or whatever we do. So we're not pulling out of a general fund contingency rate.
I'd say separate. That's just my.
If we've got a third this year, if we put a third with it, say 2/3
Yeah.
next year, like the Judge is saying, when we get down to it, we can move that 1
Yeah.
cent.
A 5 cent building, when we go to vote on it, well, now we got 3 cents. Hey, we're at 2 cents.
Yeah.
And we can only hit the county up for 3 or 4 cent in one time deal, and we're not on a bond issue.
And we've got some money put away in that fund that we can do.
Buy down debt or
Renovations or whatever we have to do.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna create a long range planning fund and that will transfer this 213 to it. All right,
Sure that is the right name we need to put on it.
I'll get creative.
I'm thinking about audit. Now, and I'm not, you see what I'm getting at?
the future growth is, that's
Will
good.
that work?
Yeah, frankly, the auditors are going to, in the audit, move it into the general fund and it'll be committed for a certain thing.
Okay.
But for all the reports that you get, you'll see it separate, it'll earn interest separate, and it will grow by interest earnings, whether you put any more in it or not.
Yeah.
Okay. And on your weekly reports, you'll see that fund listed with that money there. I'm okay with another name if you don't want it.
I remember one of those pictures I was at, there's something along
That simplicity of the next court should know that fund is for that. So it shouldn't be any, we don't want to get too creative. It's for long range planning.
Okay. Just making sure we're good.
So.
Okay, so I think we've gone through everything I wanted to go through. So in making the motion for the budget, for filing the budget, if you want to file the budget that's in the budget packet as it is right now, and what that includes is the budget roll fund balance, and it includes the pay scale classification for the EMTs for the existing. If you want to amend what's in this budget plan, and well, first, y'all give me a consensus on the level 2, 7 level 2 paramedics. Is that a
4.
yes or no?
I like it. I'm for, yeah.
I'm gonna go with them.
Okay.
That gives you.
All right, so if that's the case, your motion would generally read, if you look on this, there's a sample motion.
Okay.
And sample motion, it would read that you'd like to make a motion to file the proposed budget.
We're still in workshop.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I make a motion to file the proposed budget as presented, with changes to modify the pay scale to reflect EMS pay at midpoint, modify EMS employee allocation of pay scale to reflect the paramedic retention and recruitment, and modify to reflect the $213,000 to the transfer fund, $100,000 for, engineering planning. So something along those lines. Okay,
All that.
right, and that's all I've got.
Anybody got anything else for workshop?
I think that's enough, Patricia.
Oh. 213 and 28.
I think it's plenty.
Okay, now we'll go out of workshop.
213.28 right
Yeah,
Item 48.
We'll go back to item 48 on the statutory agenda. Discuss and take action on amending budget and financial policies.
Make the motion to approve item 48.
Sure.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion
Y'all
carried.
were hitting me.
49, discuss and take action on filing the proposed budget with county clerk.
Right, it's that fabulous motion that you just had.
Yep.
All right.
You all the amendments?
Nope.
All right, you meant to help me go along. I make a motion to file the proposed budget as presented with changes to modify the pay scale to reflect the EMS pay at midpoint and modify EMS employee allocation and pay scale to reflect EMS paramedic retention and recruitment plan discussed in the workshop and fund $213,128 to long-range planning account and $100,000 to planning and development for personnel changes. Did I give you?
Second.
That was a mouthful, Bill. I don't even know what you said.
I give myself a.
Can you repeat that? No.
No, I cannot.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Number 50.
You listen, that one on tape.
You need a
Carrie.
second, Carrie? You good?
Dog getting thicker.
Do you need a second?
No, I'm good.
50, discuss and take action on scheduling a public hearing on August 25th, 2025 at 9 a.m. for the proposed budget for October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026 at the Walker County Courthouse.
I'll make that motion to approve agenda item 50.
Can we be later than 9?
You can't do it before now.
Okay. I'm just making sure if it's 9:05, it's on. Okay.
Yeah, 9 or late.
I got a second from Kirkendall. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. 51, discuss and take action on proposed tax rate for the October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026 budget to include in the notice of meetings to vote on proposed tax rate, recorded vote.
Motion to approve.
This one's record vote, ain't it?
You have to read this one out, I think, right?
Yeah, you have to set each of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to read it. You don't read it once. So, I vote for.
Four.
Four. Motion carries unanimous. 52, discuss and take action on scheduling a public hearing on August 25th, 2025 at 9:05 a.m. at the Walker County Courthouse on proposed tax rate for the fiscal year October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026.
Motion to approve number 52 as presented.
Yeah, I'm a tad uncomfortable with item 51.
You want us to read it?
It needs to be.
You want us to read your detailed motion?
And then for the minutes.
Decker made the motion, right?
Well, it really.
Yeah, but there was no.
Nobody made a motion.
Okay.
I made the motion.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to 51. Okay. I'm gonna reread it and then we'll go again. 51, discuss and take action on proposed tax rate for October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026 budget to include the notice of meeting to vote on proposed tax rate.
And my motion was make a motion to include the operations tax rate of 0.4387 per $100 of assessed valuation and a debt tax rate of 0.0184 per $100 of assessed valuation for a total tax rate of 0.4571 per $100 of assessed valuation and a notice of meeting on proposed tax rate.
I'll second that.
Moved in second.
Four.
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 All right, unanimous.
It sounds a lot better.
All right, 52, discuss and take action on scheduling a public hearing on August 20, 2025 at 9:05 a.m. Walker County Courthouse. Proposed tax rate for the fiscal year October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026.
I make a motion to schedule the public hearing on the proposed tax rate for October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026 for August 25th, 2025 at 9:05 a.m. at the Walker County Courthouse.
Second.
Do we need to put in here?
You're fine.
Okay. I got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion seconds. All right. Any questions from the media? Public
No.
comments? Commissioners courts.
I'd like to comment on whoever dumps their couches at the end of our road, find another road.
Don't find.
Another room.
Yeah.
Three of them out there right now.
I'd
Oh, yeah.
almost trade you the couches for the coats and stuff.